Hello and welcome to Game 3 of the first week of the PWL season. I'm your host, Joe Adams, and as always, joining me here today, John Smith.
Glad to be here, Joe. Today we have an exciting matchup. Next Gen Sports has announced this game to be the most stacked of the week according to talent. Let's get a preview of who's playing today.
Gladly, John. For the Bethany Herons, Simon Nichols, a veteran of the sport, looking to edge out the possibly less experienced competition. Ben Baird of the Hillsborough Highlanders is on the spot to score some big points as his teammate Chris Dyer took home the victory in Game 1.
For the Rose City Wreckers, we have Jacob Ham and Johnny Collier is representing the Cedar Mill Shockwaves. Both are great physical specimens who use pure athleticism as their strong point.
Finally, the Ballers are represented by Ryan Cheddar Howman, one of the biggest boom or bust stories of the draft, and who could forget league co-owner Simon Boss Carrick, representing the Aloha Gladiators. It's sure to be a great game, John.
Absolutely. It looks like this matchup we only have one player incorrectly colored, and that would be the Hillsborough Highlanders player with the white long sleeve shirt. Should be a green shirt.
That's right. And while you were talking about that, we missed the first elimination of this game, what nobody expected to be Ryan Howman. Many expected him to probably be the best player in this game, and here he is already out in match 1. That's scoring 0 points for the Beavers and Ballers. Looks like we're getting the order set up for the next round. The ref is talking to Ben Baird of the Hillsborough Highlanders, probably telling him about his wrong colored jersey. We all know how big of an offense that is in this game. A good receive there from Simon Boss Carrick. It looks like everyone's just kind of playing the short game here, nothing too fancy. And wow, that's a second surprise in a row. Simon Carrick overshoots the table a little bit, just barely, and he's out next.
Yeah, just too much power. See that a lot.
Yeah, I hear that he goes to the gym regularly, so I think that it's just a little bit too much strength translated over. That's going to be something he needs to watch for the rest of the game.
Not sure why he has the sunglasses inside. I don't know. Kind of looks like an idiot.
Well, maybe. That might be your opinion. But we still got 4 people left in the match from Cedar Mill, from Bethany, Rose City, and of course Hillsborough.
Johnny tries to slam that, but just doesn't work. Serve one on him.
That's serve one on Johnny Collier. We're going to be resetting the table here. Simon Nichols for the Bethany Herons back to serve, and there we did.
Again, it tries to do it. That's serve 2.
That's serve 2 for Johnny Collier. One more, and well, he's eliminated, and that would be very bad, as being the serve receiver is pretty advantageous. That's a great hit from Ben Baird.
Great hit. Swapping the sides on doubles, but doesn't work out for Simon Nichols right there.
That's right. Simon Nichols tries to do a little bit of a fancy move himself, similar to Max Carlton or Jared Istuk from last game, but just isn't able to match that, and he's the third person out for this match as we reach our final 3. Looks like the new server is going to be Johnny Collier will start as the new server now that the King Simon Nichols has been eliminated.
See how this one goes. Solid game so far, just standard threes, moving all the way around the table, and it looks like Ben just moves too far.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. It seems like a misstep with his position. He just went a little too far than perhaps he would have liked to be in order to receive that ball. And now we have our first championship round for match 1 between Jacob Ham of the Rose City Wreckers and Johnny Collier of the Cedar Mill Shockwave.
Of course, right here we're flopping sides, and he just returns it right there.
He's looks like he's kind of preying on Jacob Ham's being right-handed. He keeps hitting to the left of him, trying to give him those hard hits.
That's smart playing right there. That's smart playing. I don't think most people think of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy that can go in this game. Some levels that people haven't even really considered before. Johnny Collier's really taken advantage of that, but looks like he was just a little too strong in that last hit as Jacob Ham takes match 1 for the Rose City Wreckers. That's 5 points right there.
Not a bad first round right there.
Yeah, certainly not bad at all. Let's take another look at that replay. Johnny's getting ready for a pretty normal receive. It looks like he might have hit that a little too much on the side of his paddle, and it just kind of spiraled to the wrong side.
Maybe.
Now, here we are at the conclusion of match 1. So now a message from our sponsor, the Penguin Diner.
The Penguin Diner needs no introduction. If you haven't heard of it, you must be one deep hole you live in. Penguin Diner, eat smart.
That's right. And with that, the start of match 2, where Ryan Heilman seems to be serving. And that's a nightmare for anybody. I mean, he's a very experienced player and just...
He's a very aggressive server, too.
That's right. He is very aggressive in his play.
Simon Nichols getting a little anger out right in front of our camera right there.
Simon Nichols. Maybe I saw something wrong because it looks like Ben Baird is actually the one serving, not Ryan. I think what I must have saw is Ryan Heilman received from the serve. So that's my apologies.
Yeah, look at that aggressive hit right there,
folks. That's not what I meant to say. Here we got 5th round.
Soft hit, not to be expected from him. Got an angle hit, and then just too much power again right there.
That's a second power hit from Simon that just did not go the way he wanted to, and you know he's been getting some pretty low placements early in the game, but at least it's not last place. He's at least scoring something.
That is true. Not the turnout he wants, but
it's not the worst he could do. That's for certain.
It's not too good though.
That means we're down to 4 people. Everyone's still a little scared that Cheddar from the Beaverton Ballers is still in. And looks like Ben Baird of the Hillsborough Highlanders is still serving.
Let's get into this doubles matchup. Let's see. Hard hit.
Oh, just a great serve receive from Heilman, but Ham is able to get it back.
It is dangerous to be a third after Ryan Heilman because he can just get so much power and so far on this hit.
And we just saw that right there with an elimination. Let's take a look at the replay. Just a lot of power makes him back up and just goes right over the table. That's an elimination for last match's winner, Jacob Ham, which leaves our final 3. Ben Baird of the Hillsborough Highlanders, Johnny Collier of the Cedar Mill Shockwave, and Ryan Cheddar Heilman of the Beaverton Ballers. And the Ballers certainly need Heilman to do really good in this game because I think right now they're last in the standings.
We have 2 players returning from last game's top 3 and a new contender in Mr. Heilman.
We'll see what he does next. Just a nice little... That's a pretty easy hit for Johnny Collier right there. And Ben just looks like he was going for a corner shot to try and catch Ryan off guard, and he just completely missed it and got himself out. And that's a 3rd place for Ben Baird. Not bad, I would say.
Not bad. He came 3rd last game, too. That's 6 points over 2 games. Not terrible.
And Johnny Collier is making his 2nd straight championship round here as he comes in match 2. And that's
we got serve 1 on Johnny.
That's right, serve 1 on Johnny Collier. That seems to be a growing problem for him, is a little too much power on those serves.
Yeah. Now, what would have happened if he just is letting these go? What's going on?
If he doesn't swing on these balls are deemed unhittable by the ref. That doesn't necessarily mean it's impossible to hit them, but if he doesn't swing, it's sort of like baseball. That would be the fault of the server and not the person receiving the serve. So he could do himself some good by not receiving, but Johnny Collier, like Ryan, is also a fairly aggressive play style. So it looks like he's trying to go for the win here, of course.
Absolutely. Looks like we're on the short side of the table.
Yep, and that was a great hit from Ryan. I mean, we're just kind of admiring here the mechanics in his hits. He's definitely playing a little bit of...
He's definitely got a great move to himself. He can...
That's right. And
great technique, I should say.
If you look at his paddle, he's putting a little bit of backspin on every hit, and that just led him to a victory in match 2 after coming last in match 1. So that's pretty good for the Beaverton Ballers, getting 5 points for them, which are desperately needed at this point. So 2 matches into the game, let's see how the players are stacking up. Johnny Collier takes an early lead, scoring 8 points for the Cedar Mill Shockwave. But right behind him is Jacob Ham of the rival team, Rose City Wreckers, with 7.
Currently in third is the Highlanders' Ben Baird with 6 points, and right behind him is Ryan Heilman of the Beaverton Ballers. The top 4 of this game so far are only separated by 1 point at each leaderboard position. It's definitely still anyone's game in this close matchup.
Except for maybe 2 here, John. The Simons. Nichols and Carrick of the Herons and Gladiators have taken an early tumble, both scoring just 2 points. This early stumble might be difficult to overcome, so they'll need to work extra hard to keep pace with those heavy hitters up there 1 through 4.
Absolutely, I agree.
So it looks like we're going to be going into the middle match of the game here, match 3. The ref is still sorting out the hitting order. So, all right, looks like coming up here is the serve. A strong hit from Johnny Collier. Will Ben receive it? He will. A lot of really high hits, just giving people opportunities here to really get people out, but no one's really capitalizing on them. It seems like some of these players are being a little more conservative, trying to get some points.
Looks like we're moving the table, see what's going on.
That's right. Jacob Ham is receiving from Ryan Heilman. That's a little dangerous. Ooh, that was a good hit from Bear. That was really close to being just short of the table.
Simon to Simon. Let's see what we do here. And just bad hit right there, out first.
That's unfortunate for Simon Carrick, who it seems like he was trying to do sort of a power hit to try and skim it across the table, but it just didn't go high enough and hit the side of the table, and he's out. I mean, you saw that replay. He took off his glasses he took off the shades for this match, but it doesn't seem really like it did him much good. We'll have to hope that he does better next match.
Yeah, Gladiators are top of the leaderboard overall for team right now, and 2 points over 3 matches is not going to help that at all.
That's for certain. But if we look at the replay here, Johnny Collier did another really aggressive serve receive, and Ben Baird in that dangerous third place spot, or I should say third receiving position, just got out. We got another receive here. He's going to try and use it on Simon Nichols. And the same thing happens. Simon Nichols is out. Johnny Collier got him out. It's just these aggressive serves.
Just overwhelming him with these power hits right
He's
here.
really taking advantage of these. That's why I always recommend that when players are in the third spot, they kind of want to back up. Kind of like what Ryan is doing right now. You see how far back he is? Now he's in prime position to perfectly receive that serve. See, that's
but now he's running around. He's running so far. I'm surprised he got that. That's great.
Intelligent play.
He was just sprinting around that table.
Yeah, Ryan Heilman right now is showing, well, I don't want to say this anymore now that he just completely muffed that hit, but before that, showing both intelligent and athletic play at the same time, but of course...
That might just be from the fact that he just ran 2 laps straight around the table
That's
and then
right.
straight into a hit.
There is a little bit of an endurance factor in this game, and you can't win them all. So Ryan Heilman comes third, as Jacob Ham and Johnny Collier have a rematch, as Johnny Collier makes his 3rd straight championship round appearance across these 3 matches. That's really impressive for Cedar Mill. I'm sure all of his teammates are really happy that he's doing so
Jacob
well.
Ham to serve, and ball is live with an aggressive hit.
Well, what else do you expect from Johnny Collier coming off the serve?
I'm not expecting much less.
It looks like Jacob Ham is kind of taking his time with these hits, trying to be a little bit more methodical with his accuracy over power. Now, these two are just pretty much polar opposites in their style of play.
That was a pretty high ball, according. It looked like at this angle he could have done a little bit more, I feel like, with that one.
That's right. You got to be careful, especially when it's 1v1, not to hit the ball high up and give your opponent a chance to just spike that down, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to take the opportunity, and there's really no receiving those. So you got to be really careful about those types of hits.
We're just in an aggressive one-on-one right now. It's just hard hits, so you really can't get out of a hard hit battle because you don't want to take a far angle hit. That's just not safe. That's just too risky in my books.
That's right. Johnny Collier's starting to have to move around. Jacob Ham is making him kind of move his position. And but it doesn't seem like that's affecting him too much as he's receiving all these back to the mid-table. And Jacob Ham gets himself out. That was a battle of attrition right there. were both really just kind of relying on the other to make a mistake. And Jacob Ham of the Rose City Wreckers is who broke first. So Johnny Collier, he's come into the championship round all 3 matches, and he just won his first one in match 3. That's a very impressive showing. I'm sure the Cedar Mill team owner is really glad about that. And now a message from one of our biggest sponsors, Custom Wood Flooring.
Owned and operated locally, call Custom Wood Flooring at their phone or message them at their address to get yourself a beautiful new floor. I got one in my house, and it's just spectacular.
You have a Custom Wood Flooring? I have a Custom Wood Flooring floor in my house.
It's just, mine is just beautiful. I got it stained. It's just the best floor I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that every house in my neighborhood has a floor from Custom Wood Flooring. Their business practices are they're next to none.
All right, let's get in this next round. It looks like we're live.
Round 4. I think I saw Johnny Collier as the server, and Ben Baird was just completely unprepared. And who would have guessed? It's Ryan Heilman with the elimination.
With a power hit right there. Just couldn't stand the power hit.
That's right. Ryan Heilman might have a tank to his total points scored due to that first round exit at the beginning of the game, but if there's anything he's excelling at right now, it's definitely his statistical performance.
Absolutely. And then again, someone just getting out because they're not stepping back on that first live ball.
That's right. When you're put against aggressive players, you definitely want to be a little bit further back from the table because there's different play styles in the game. Some people a little more shifty with their hits. Others just like to try and overwhelm you with power. And your positioning around the table is really one of the most important things you can do. Looks like Simon Carrick coming in 4th.
Just misses the ball right there. Yep. Wow.
Maybe a dead spot on the floor right there. Might not be. And just, wow, this surely has been an off game. You might call it first game jitters maybe, but this definitely, we did not expect this from Simon Carrick. I'm sure that he's going to be thinking about this on his ride home. I'm certain about that.
Yeah, we expect more from him.
And now, well, we've seen this top 3 before, haven't we?
Absolutely.
It seems like every match it's the same 3 people, and it looks like Johnny Collier just did an overhand serve.
And actually, that is against our rule book right there. Can you explain that? Conspiring.
Yeah, that's 2 rules broken in one serve right there. There is an overhand serve, which is illegal, and also there's a rule against 2 opposing players, in this case Jacob Ham and Johnny Collier, conspiring against a 3rd player. In this case, Johnny Collier intentionally hit the ball extremely high in order to make it so Jacob Ham could just slam it on the ground and make it practically unreceivable for Ryan Heilman in an attempt to not have to face him in this incoming match. So that's going to result in a redo on the first offense, but the consequences for conspiring gets a little more dramatic the more times you commit it. But now it looks like we're back to doing a normal match here.
Well, let's hope we don't see that ever again.
Yeah.
That's not sportsmanlike right there.
I tell you, it does not belong in this sport at all.
Let's see if Ryan can get his revenge on these 2 for doing that again.
That's for certain. He's receiving from Jacob Ham, and he's hitting to Johnny Collier. Oh, that was a really good recovery there from Ryan.
That was a great save.
Just a great hit right there. Looks like he's playing a little more conservatively compared to his normal aggressive style. He's just kind of lofting the ball back onto the table. Same as Jacob Ham. Well, Jacob Ham just in general has always been a little bit more of a conservative player, but relying on that technique. And Heilman just lobs it back over.
Yeah, we're just going pretty simple game. Just hitting across the table, no real angle shots right now.
That's right. Well, as far as 3rd matches go. And it looks like Johnny Collier just hit it right over the table. Let's see an instant replay of that.
Yep. Misses, yep.
Tried to do a little something fancy schmancy and got himself out. That is the first time that the championship round of a match will not feature Johnny Collier in it.
Yeah, I guess he was just getting bored of just hitting across the table over and over again, try to swap things up, and it just didn't work out for him.
It's possible that maybe he was just bored of getting in the championship every time.
I don't think I ever could be. If you see right there, Heilman is taking advantage of the serve system right there.
All right, wait, hold on. What just happened right there? Let's take a look at this replay. Ryan
Well, we
Howland
got a serve, and
received.
then that's a first live ball, and he just doesn't hit
And
it.
that's the second time this match that a player has just straight up missed the ball when they go to hit it. That's a little embarrassing. But here we are at the end of the fourth match, John, and things are looking pretty much the same.
That's right, John. Collier and Ham of the Shockwaves and Records remain in first and second, separated still by only a single point. Collier leads the game with 16 points. Jacob Ham is in second with 15.
The bottom two have also remained the same. Simon Nichols of the Bethany Herons has 5 points, and in last is the Gladiators' Simon Carrick with 4.
We do have one shakeup, however. Ben Baird of the Highlanders has scored 1 point in the last 2 matches as he falls to fourth place. Rising over him is Ryan Heilman of the Ballers, who scored 8 points to propel him up to third with 13 points.
Now the question is, can Collier retain his lead, or will Ham and Heilman usurp his throne?
I guess we'll see soon enough in our next 2 and final 2 games.
That's right. Only 2 matches left, and the serve is already gone. And, well, this is unfortunate news for everyone playing, but Ryan Heilman is the king of this match. So that's a problem if you're on the receiving end of any of his hits past the serve. Is that 2 serves already? It looks like the ref is trying to give just a redo call instead of trying to call that on the server or the serve receiver. But it looks like they're just going to redo that a little bit against what we normally do in the league here, but I guess we'll just let it slide.
Yeah, he just goes with a soft serve to get rid of any sort of issues.
All right, looks like Ryan Heilman is going to be receiving from Simon Nichols, and he eliminates Ben Baird right there. Ben Baird, of course, had immunity as the serve receiver. All it took was losing that immunity to get him out instantly, and that's a last place finish for Ben Baird. That's what, like, I think, is that his second in a row, or because he didn't score many points.
I think that might have been his second in a row. I think he came out first last game.
It's possible, that's for certain, but looks like he's going to try and have a monster performance in his last game to try and boost up his score for his team.
As you can see, Heilman is just such a powerful hitter. You can't even see the players on the other side of the screen right
That's
now
right.
because they're back so far.
That's right. People preparing for Heilman's serve finally. Smart thing to do, but they have to move so back to receive it that we can't even see it on our main camera here. But that will change at the start of week 2, as our way of recording these games will be changed a little bit, and you'll be seeing that, of course, when we release the footage for week 2 games. Simon Carrick is, of course, in a dangerous position there, receiving from Ryan Heilman, and
just was back too far, couldn't get low enough to hit that ball.
That's right. He was just.
If you see right here on this camera.
And that is the 3rd time that a player has just missed the ping pong ball that they are trying to hit. And Simon Carrick really has not been showing up for the Gladiators this game. He's really going to have to either pull something out in match 6, or he's just going to have to try and do better in game 2.
That's for sure.
Ooh,
And that's a serve right there.
There's a serve. Who's receiving?
Looks like Johnny.
Johnny Collier. Well, seeing him get a serve penalty is nothing new, that's for certain.
Absolutely, that's his 5th of this game.
And Simon Nichols is already gone. Sorry, excuse me, those watching at home. And we're down to our final 3, and you probably would not have guessed this, but the final 3 consists of Jacob Ham, Johnny Collier, and Ryan Heilman. Absolutely unforeseen. Nobody saw this coming.
I don't think I've seen these guys here before.
Yeah, I don't think that anyone really had any expectation for these guys to make it this far, but they just keep coming. So we're going to have another long rally is what I'm expecting here. Perhaps another game of attrition, just seeing who's going to make a mistake first. But we have a lot of movement, of course. All 3 of these players hit pretty fast, which means they have to get around the table even quicker than you would otherwise in a normal game, and just trying to do some fancy hits to get people out. But
we're just going around the world right now. Let's see if anyone swaps this up or if they just gonna keep going. But we do swap it up right there. It Looks like we got a little mix-up right there.
That's right. Now we're moving counterclockwise. No, we're not. We're moving clockwise. I'm sorry about that. Now we're moving.
Oh, big hit. Now we're moving fast. Let's see what he does.
Can Johnny receive it? Oh, right back on the table. That was a good receive from Johnny Collier.
Gives Ham a lot of time right there.
That's right.
And then swap in direction again, and then re-swap in direction right there, making people run in circles.
Jacob Ham is he's not really doing too much to get Ryan out. I mean, that might prove to be unfortunate later in the match if Ryan isn't the one who gets eliminated here.
Yeah, I agree right there.
Jacob Ham is just
going all around the world with these powerful hits.
Yeah, this is a really long rally. I gotta say, all these players are making really impressive hits and great recoveries.
Nice backhand right there by Howman.
Yeah, you don't see too many of those. Those are kind of more of an advanced technique. And Johnny Collier.
Not exactly sure what happened there. We're gonna have to look at this camera to go with that. Just looks like kind of hit the ball with his thumb, I think.
Yeah, I think he hit it with his thumb. I think that's the second time in a row where it's been this final three and Johnny got out on what we call an SD, a self-destruction, just hit it missing the table with the hit.
Yeah, this is a different final two right here. We haven't had a Howman versus Ham yet.
No, not once. Throughout the entire match.
We got Cheddar with his serve right there. That's a strong serve, and it looks like he's going to call serve on Howman right there.
That's right. Howman himself is visibly showing some disgust at that call, but good job, ref, for making the tough calls.
It looks like Ham goes in, tries to slam it, but just couldn't get it.
Another serve. That's something we've seen from all three of these players throughout the game. Is their aggressive play is just resulting in a lot of serves.
They definitely utilize the ability of having serves. Cheddar tries to do a swap up right there, but we have a good recovery. Now we're in just a power battle. Let's see who messes up first. Oh, that's a bounce on the middle of the table right there on the crack. Back to a power battle. And just Cheddar just swaps up, right? Slips up.
Ryan Howman just put a little too much backspin on that. And this video is brought to you by Jaqui Woodworking Inc. We should mention we're very thankful for their sponsorship. But anyway, back to the game. Yeah, that last elimination, Ryan Howman just, if you look closely at his game, you can see that he puts a lot of backspin onto his hits. And he just put a little too much on there. He wanted to get it right onto the table and go backwards, and he just missed it, just barely.
Need I mention Jaqui actually made my cabinets in my house?
The cabinets?
Yeah.
I hear that Jaqui Woodworking Inc. actually supplies custom wood flooring with a lot of their wood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a lot of partnerships going on here. All of these companies, just the best of the best. We only take the best sponsorships.
Yeah, remember, we're only taking these sponsorships if we truly think they have the best products.
Yep.
Now back to the game. We already have an elimination.
Match 6. It looks like Jacob Ham is getting out. And,
he just won a game, and now he's out of the game.
It looks like some of the players, Jacob Ham the most, is calling for a body block penalty, but nothing is called. I'm not sure if the players agree with the ref here, but he's the ref. He makes the rules.
We have aggressive hit right there, and just misses. Johnny's out.
Can you believe it? Jacob Ham and Johnny Collier are the first two out for the final match when they've been in the final three for practically the entire game.
That is true. Let's see how we go right here. Oh, it looks like we have some confusion, but he saved himself.
That's right. The King, Simon Carrick of the Gladiators, has not had a good game so far, but starting as the King is probably making him have a little bit better of a game.
Looks like Ben Bear just misses the table right there, going for an aggressive hit.
Yep. And our final three for this match is the Gladiators, Simon Carrick, the Herons, Simon Nichols, and the Ballers, Ryan Howman.
It's a different top three than we've been seeing the rest of the game.
That's right. This is the first of this matchup that we have seen. Let's see what he was going for a strong hit. He might have been saved there, but it doesn't matter because Simon Carrick just
hit right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real way other to describe it. It's just that was a bad hit, and he's out for the rest of the game until week 2. I'm sure by week 2 he's probably going to have practiced a lot trying to fix those mistakes he made.
And that's the game. Is that the game?
It
Was
looks
that a
like
serve?
that
I'm not just
well.
sure.
Let's take a look. Simon Nichols
That's not the
serve.
serve. Just too soft of a serve.
Yep.
Falls back.
He wasn't ready for it, and that's it. That's the end of the game. Ryan Heilman takes match 6 for the Beaverton Ballers. So what an exciting finish that was. Simon Carrick rode the bottom of the leaderboard the entire game and finished scoring 8 points for the Gladiators. Certainly his goal will be figuring out what went wrong and then correcting those errors.
I think so too, Joe. Simon Nichols of the Herons got out of the bottom two. Passing Ben Baird of the Hillsborough Highlanders, who fell yet another position on the leaderboard. Baird scored 9 points for the Highlanders and Nichols 11.
What everyone is talking about is the close finish between the top 3 of this game. Can you believe it? 3 players each with 20 or more points. Unheard of. These guys dominated this game. The Shockwaves' Johnny Collier, who led the game virtually the entire match, didn't seem to have the stamina for the last couple rounds as he falls second place down to third, but still brought home a sizable point baggage with 20.
While Collier fell, Jacob Ham of the Rose City Wreckers was able to retain his position in second, not budging from the placement all game, also scoring 20 for his team.
But of course, the player of the game is Ryan Cheddar Howman, who took home the victory for the Beaverton Ballers, scoring 22 points. He got out first in the first match, but from there onward it was complete domination. Howman racked up 14 knockouts, only one behind league leader Caden Fairhurst, as well as 4 regicides, also good enough for second in the league. Truly a monster statistical performance.
It seems that will do it from the booth. We'll see you next time for Game 4 of the PWL. As always, I'm John Smith.
And I'm John Adams, and we'll see you next time.